Good morning, it's Lisa here from Rocco Baby Crochet. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make these 4-leaf clover or shamrock coasters. It's coming up to St. Patrick's Day, to be sure. And these are really, that was my Irish accent. I talk in Irish accent all the time, and now when I've got to do it, I can't do it. So these are a really good way to use up any scrap pieces of yarn, and they look really cute and nice little decorative touch just to mark St. Patrick's Day. We did the daffodils for St. David's Day the other week, so I thought let's do some 4-leaf clovers. So all you're going to need for this is you're going to need a 5mm crochet hook, which I've got here. You're going to need a pair of scissors and a darning needle, and obviously your choice of yarn. I'm using double knit for both of these. So I'm doing a couple in dark and then a couple in light. You are going to, I've not blocked, I've blocked this one, I've not blocked this one yet, so it will stretch out, and I know that one looks a little bit bigger at the moment, but once I've blocked them, they'll both look the same size, and they are really pretty, the stitching. So we've got slip stitching down the centre here with the leaves, and the detail on them is just gorgeous, I think. But they're really simple to make, so let's go ahead and make them. There's quite a couple of different stitches that we need to use to make these, and it gets a little bit confusing, so I'm going to say the UK terminology first, and then I'm going to do the American terminology, but I'm only going to do the American terminology for the first leaf. So then after that, you should be able to follow along, because otherwise it just gets completely confusing. So to begin with, we make our magic ring. So you take your loose end of yarn, wrap it around, making that letter X, back round and grab onto all your loose ends. Flip your hand over and you've got your 2 parallel lines of yarn. Going underneath this first one and pull through your back loop. Twist your hook upwards and slip it underneath that back loop again and pull it straight down. Oops, not like that. Oh, to be sure. Let's try it again. There we go. I'm back to Irish now. I hope this doesn't offend any Irish viewers. Oh my God, 3rd time lucky. Let's try it again. I'm going to leave this in because it's quite funny. Right. So here's my magic ring. There we go. Now around this magic ring, what we want to do is, so in UK terms, we're going to place 8 double crochets. American terms, that's 8 single crochets. So we want to make sure that this loose end is pointing towards the left, and we're going to crochet around both the ring and the loose end. So when we come to pull it together, it pulls together easily. So you insert your hook into the middle of your loop, yarn over and pull up. So you've got 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 2, and that's your first double crochet. So we need 8 of those in total, so that's 1. This project, you want to keep your stitches nice and loose. I'm naturally crochet quite tightly, but your shamrock will want to turn up, so you'll have to block it regardless, but you don't want to have tight stitches as well, because it would just be a bit of a nightmare. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's 8. So when we pull this closed, we're going to leave still a little space that we can get our hook through. So we don't want to close it completely yet, but you pull on your loose end and just close it to about there, so you can still get your hook in and out of that hole. So you want to slip stitch into your first stitch, which is here. Just take your time and make sure you get under those 2 loops. So insert your hook, yarn over and pull through, and then pull through. And then to make our first leaf of the shamrock, what you want to do is you want to chain 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to be working in the 4th chain from the hook. So remember that this doesn't count as anything that's on the hook. Here's our first chain, our second, our third. So this is our 4th chain here where my thumb is. And what we want to work here in UK terminology, it's known as a double treble. And in American terminology, it's known as a triple crochet. And the way you do that is you yarn over twice, and then you insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop. So you can see that you've got 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through your last 2. And into that same chain space we need 4 in total. So we need to do another 3. So I'm yarning over twice, inserting my hook into the stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through my last 2. So we've got 3, so I just need 1 more. So I'm yarning over twice, insert my hook into that stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and take off my last 2. So we've got 2 chains left here to work in. So into this next chain here we're going to place 2 stitches. So the first one we're going to place is a UK treble, which in America is known as a double. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into that chain, yarn over and pull up a loop. Remember to keep it nice and loose. Yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through your last 2. Now into this same stitch we're going to work what is known in the UK as a half treble, or in America it's known as a half double. So you're going to yarn over, go back into that same stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and take off all 3 loops. And then into this last chain here we're just going to work UK terminology 1 double, and American it's known as a single. So you just insert your hook straight into that last chain, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both loops. So you can see that's the first half of your shamrock leaf there. And what you'll be able to see here, let me try and show you clearly, is because we're going to work back up this side here. So you can see this hole here is where, this stitch here, I'm calling it a hole, is where our double has just come out of. Here we've got a space where our so here we've got a stitch where our double has come out of. Let me get this right for you. So we've got our hole here where our single has come out of, or our UK double. Then the next hole up here, we've got where our half treble and our treble has come out of. And then our third hole up here, we've got where our 4 double trebles have come out of. So we're just going to put in exactly, we're just going to do a mirror image of those. So grab your hook again. So from your single crochet, for you Americans, or for us English, it's a double. You're going to chain one, pivot your work around and go directly back into that same hole, and you're placing one double crochet or one double back into there, and then into this next hole up here. We're going to start off by placing our half treble in UK or half double in America. So you're yarning over, inserting your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull off all 3 loops on your hook, and then you're going back into that same hole and you're going to place in the UK what's known as a treble, and in the US what is known as a double. So you're going to yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through your last 2 loops, and then you've got this one space left here, this one stitch left here to work your 4 double trebles. So you're yarning over twice, inserting your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over twice, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over twice, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So I've got 3, so I just need one more. So there's my 4. And I just like to pull them down so there's no stitches going over this chain 3 here. So what we're going to do now is you're going to chain 3 and we're going to slip stitch this to join it to the leaf. You want to slip stitch in between this last double treble that you've done and this chain 3, making sure that it's sitting just on the stitch and not overlapping your chain 3 from where you began. Okay, so that's our first leaf of our shamrock made. So when you pull it apart, you can see that you've got this big gap here, which our double trebles have come out of. Then you've got your next one back down here, which our treble and our half treble have come out of. And then you've got a little one here, which our double came out of. So what we want to do is we want to slip stitch into this one. And then from there, we're going to slip stitch into that one. So you want to keep these slip stitches nice and loose. So you want to have plenty yarn on your hook when you insert it into this space here where your treble and your half treble are coming out of. And very loosely slip stitch it. And then you're going to go directly into the hole where your single or your double crochets are coming out of, and very loosely pull through and slip stitch it again. And then to join it to our magic ring, what you want to do is where you've got your chain 1 here, pop your hook underneath there, and then you're going to go into where it's originally come out of on your magic ring and slip stitch it again through both of them. Now at this point I'll just pull up a loop and I'll just pull it out and give it a little bit of a shape, because it just makes it easier if things aren't pulling too tightly. Now when we come to block it later, it's easier to block it and your coasters will lie nice and flat on your table rather than be curling up. So what you want to do now is you want to loosely slip stitch into the center of your ring. So insert your hook through the middle, pull up a loop and very loosely slip stitch it again. And then when you look at your ring, you've got this stitch here which your leaf is coming out of, then you've got a stitch which we're going to skip, and then we're going to go directly into this next stitch here. So insert your hook underneath the top of that stitch and slip stitch, and then from there you're going to chain 6, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and we're going to make the petal in exactly the same way. Let me just get a little bit more yarn. I'll make this one with you, and then I'll let you do your last 2 on your own. So we're going to go down 4 chains from the hook. So 1, 2, 3 and 4 is there. You can see that. So we're going to place 4 double trebles. So I'm yarning over twice, you remember from the first one, and we place 4 of these stitches into that chain space, keeping your stitches nice and loose. So that's 3. And that's 4. So into my next chain space down, I'm going to work a treble, and into the same space I'm also going to work a half treble. And then into my very last chain space I'm going to work 1 double. Just shuffle all my stitches around so they're sitting a bit flatter. And then I'm going to chain 1, pivot my work, and back here, this is the stitch that my first double has come out of. So I'm going to go back into that one, pop a double, and then I'm going to move up to my next stitch. And in this one, I'm going to place my half treble and my treble. So there's my half treble, and then going back into the same stitch, I'm going to place my treble. And then into this last stitch here, we need to place our 4 double trebles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Shuffle my stitches around, chain 3, and then slip stitch it in between this stitch and my chain 3 from where I began the petal leaf from. So I'm quite happy that that one isn't turning up anywhere. So again, I've got quite a nice amount of yarn on my hook, and I'm going to go into that space that my treble and half treble are coming out of. I'm going to very loosely slip stitch it, and then I'm going to insert my hook where my double is coming out of and do another very loose slip stitch, and then I'm going to pick up my chain 1, and then at the back I'm going to insert my hook into the same stitch that it comes out of at the very beginning, and put the yarn over and pull up and do another slip stitch, and then very loosely slip stitch into my ring. So I'm going to skip one and work into that one and create the leaf exactly the same way, and then I'll skip one and create my last petal. So make your 4 petals in exactly the same way, or leaves, the leaves aren't there, and I will be back with you very shortly. So hit pause. Okay, so I've just finished my 4th leaf, and I have just got to slip stitch it back into the ring, And then to finish it off, you should just have one stitch here remaining. I'll just slip stitch it into there, chain one, cut a nice end, pull it through and pull on that loose end to secure it. So there's our coaster. All you need to do now is just pull your loose end to your magic ring together, and then what I'm going to do, or what I do with them, is I just block them. So I'll lightly steam them and then I'll pin them to my blocking board just to stop these edges from turning up. You can also just wet them and then pin them down like that on your blocking mat and just let them dry, and then they'll dry nice and straight, and they're lovely little coasters to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. So I hope you have lots of fun making these. It's a nice easy project, and I'll see you very soon. Take care, bye.